What's up guys, Sam here, welcome to Tech Today TV. It is obvious which Android manufacturer offers the finest software upgrades. For flagship and select mid-range phones, Samsung offers 4 Android OS upgrades and 5 years of security patches. And when the company upgraded more than 50 devices to Android 13 and One UI 5.0 in only 2 months, it essentially warned its rivals that they had no chance of catching up. Even while Chinese manufacturers like OnePlus recently declared that their handsets will receive 4 Android OS updates, none of them have nearly as many devices on the market as Samsung, and still delay the release of significant new updates. Additionally, OnePlus and similar companies only guarantee 4 OS upgrades for new handsets, while Samsung has been pretty considerate every time it's raised the bar with software updates by including existing flagships and mid-range devices. And, in 2023, it seems Samsung is determined to show that its passion for updates and getting them out to customers as quickly as possible is not going to waver anytime soon. That is, if we judge the company on how it is already preparing to update many phones to One UI 5.1. Once the Galaxy S23 hits retail shelves, or has at least started working on One UI 5.1. Think about it. Samsung has already done a tremendous job with the One UI 5.0 and Android 13 update by releasing it to so many Galaxy devices in a short span of time, and instead of taking a break or giving its software teams a break, the company has just turned its attention to One UI 5.1. Of course, it helps that One UI 5.1 will be a considerably smaller update relative to One UI 5.0 Android 13, but still, just the fact that Samsung has been going full throttle the last few months and refuses to pump the brakes anytime soon is downright impressive. Essentially, while the Galaxy S23 may be its biggest focus right now, the Korean tech giant is hellbent on continuing software support for existing devices at the same time. The most recent versions of One UI allow users to color match their app icons to the UI palette. The way it works is self-explanatory. When enabled, this feature generates a more color-consistent UI across the board. At least, in theory, it's a nice feature to have in One UI, and since many users asked for it, Samsung obliged. But personally, I much prefer the default app icon color scheme in One UI, and I'd go as far as saying that the icon color matching feature might be overrated. In theory, having color-matched icons sounds like a good idea. In practice, I found that it brought more problems than it solved. I identify the location of app icons on my Galaxy phone and tablet by shape, color, and memory, and I found that removing one of these elements, i.e. color, by using color-matched icons across One UI, makes identifying app icons more difficult. I found this feature detrimental to the user experience and stopped using it after a relatively short while. Granted, I'm willing to accept that each person's brain is wired differently. To some, removing the color element from icons might make them easier to identify. Even though I find that difficult to believe, I'd be more willing to bet that most people who have used color-matched icons have, at one point, lost an icon from sight, only to realize later that it was right in front of them, almost like a case of inattentional blindness. But even if I'm in the minority and monochromatic icons somehow improve the user experience in practical ways, the problem of inconsistency remains. Unfortunately, numerous app icons won't respect the color palette, resulting in a mishmash of monochromatic icons and colored ones, which ultimately, I feel, adds to the problem described earlier. I think that many One UI users will eventually switch back to the default colored app icons once they get over the excitement of trying out a new feature, and they'll probably find the user experience more comfortable on the eyes, despite, or thanks to, the fact that One UI has many colorful app icons. I could be wrong, and color-matched icons might be more than a gimmick, but personally, I'm not willing to give them another chance anytime soon. But if you want to try the color palette matched icons in One UI for yourself, you can enable this feature by opening the Settings app, accessing Wallpaper and Style, tapping Color Palette, and turning on the Apply Palette to App Icons toggle. The list of devices eligible for the update is a mystery for now as well. That said, we can be sure that most Galaxy smartphones launched in 2021 and 2022, especially all the flagships and mid-rangers like the Galaxy A52, A53 and A72, A73, will qualify for One UI 5.1. Share your thoughts and comments below. I hope you found our content interesting, and if you did, please like and hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video.